The most important question about addiction is it really a disease? In this documentary essay, Dr. Kevin McCauley explores the arguments for and against this vital debate and reviews the latest neuroscience research about addiction along the way. Using the spectacular landscapes of Utah's state and national parks to describe the brain's area involved in addiction, Dr. McCauley turns complex neuroscientific concepts into easy-to-understand visual images that will help people in recovery feel better understood, and their families and friends feel hope that recovery is possible. And most certainly, it is possible. Watch the trailer now. If the trailer looks like it contains some value for you, please click on the link below in the description to stream the entire film online.
My name is Kevin McCauley, and this film is about addiction. It addresses what I think is the most important question about addiction, a question so fundamental that all the other questions about addiction begin with this one, and everything hinges on the answer. The most important question about addiction is simply this: is it really a disease? When I first came to treatment for my own problem with addiction, my counselors told me that addiction was a disease. As a physician, I was skeptical. Addiction's not a disease, it's a choice. Diabetes is a disease. The diabetic didn't choose to get it, but the drug addict did have the choice to start using drugs. A lot of people told me that addiction was a disease, but very few of them could defend that position. And I had to know. So I decided to find out for myself. And that set me on a personal journey that has taken the last 10 years of my life. Along the way, I've come to realize that this question is far more complex than it looks. To study addiction is to look into some of the most basic concepts about what it means to be human. Pleasure, memory, our genes, our ability to cope with stress, even free will itself. Addiction involves all of these things because it takes place in the organ that most embodies who we are. Addiction is a disorder of the brain. I wonder what it would be like if I could walk through the brain the way I can hike through Utah. I find the comparison quite striking. The brain has bumps and grooves, the same way this land has mountains and canyons. The brain is shaped by experience over the course of a lifetime, the same way this land is shaped by wind and water over countless lifetimes. One is made of genes, the other geology. When I compare the anatomy of the brain to the geography of Utah, it helps me understand that the brain is a place. We can go to these places, we can see how they connect, we can even photograph them. There are two areas in the brain that are important in addiction. One is deep inside, the midbrain. The other is on the outside. It's called the frontal cortex.
You are invited to join Dr. McCauley on a journey of discovery. What happens in the brain when a person becomes addicted to drugs or alcohol? Is addiction simply a matter of making bad choices, or are there better explanations that are based in brain science? Join Dr. McCauley as he reviews the latest research on addiction using the unique and varied landscape of Utah to explain the different areas of the brain involved in addiction. Dr. McCauley turns complex neuroscientific concepts into easy-to-understand visual images that will help people in recovery understand what they have been through, and their families feel a sense of hope that recovery is possible. Contact the Institute for Addiction Study for more information and answers about addiction.